Kachiku, Kachiku. Oh, you're adorable. You're so cute. You look just like your mother. Wow, look at that smile. This is how we interact with infants. I mean, they're not ready for education, but we can pamper them, we can look after them, we can take care of them until they are, not the Rebbe. As we heard tonight from the Rabbi, Mipi Eilim V'Yoinkim, these children are actually the most powerful soldiers in the world. And it's brought to life with an incredible yechidus with a journalist, Mati Eden. He asked the Rebbe, how come before every single war in Eretz Yisrael, you came out with a campaign for children, psukim, rallies, whatever it may be, but it's always children. Why? And the Rebbe responded, the people in the Knesset don't have the power to win wars. It's these children that have the power. Not only do they have the power to destroy the enemy, they actually have the power to stop the enemy's plans while it's still in potential before it comes into actuality. These children had the power 50 years ago to actually bring about the miracle of Entebbe and bring our hostages home. The world today is literally trembling. Terrorism, anti-Semitism. Nobody knows what to do. But the Rebbe gave us the plan 50 years ago. We have the soldiers. We have the ammunition. But back to your question. From what age does Chinuch start? And the answer is, from the moment they are born. We learn this from Rabbi Yeshua ben Hanania, about whom it said, Ashrei Yeladetai, because he became who he became, because he was taken to the shul, to the Beis HaMedrash, in his carriage, and absorbed the Torah as an infant before he had any real Havana V'Hasaga. And the Rebbe turns and points 50 years ago to the new discovery that the doctors have come up with, that the early years of a child are very impressionable. And what happens in those years actually remains with the child for the rest of their lives. They think they discovered this, says the Rebbe. But really, Torah has been telling this to us for all along, which is why when a child is born, right away we put the Shir HaMalis in their room. This is why the Minhag Yisrael Teirahi is that a mother sings to the child as the Torah is the best Eschera. And by giving the child this message, how special the Torah is, then Gam Ki Yaskin, even when they get older, that's what they desire, that's what they want. And the Rebbe goes on to describe how the Minhag HaMedina is that when a child is born, you put a dog or a cat or a lion or an eagle, all animals which are tummy, by the child. We're going to change that, says the Rebbe. We're going to put Dvarim Shebekdusha, a Tzedakah Pushka, a Bencha, a Kriya Shema, an Aleph base. The Rebbe compares the young child to a seed. A little tiny mark on that seed leaves an incredible mark on them when they grow older. Now I want you to think of a cement being poured. It's soft. It can be molded into any shape you want until it gets hard. Now think about the child's brain. That soft mold lasts till they're 4 or 5 years old. So the youngest age of the child is not only an opportunity, it's actually the most impressionable years. And now, I'm not just speaking to people who are mothers of little children. We all see children and even infants. So the next time you see a child, what are you going to do? Kuchiku, kuchiku. Or is it going to be, Taira, Shema? How are you going to perceive that child? Are you going to perceive them as a little baby or the most powerful soldier in the world? When the Rebbe launched Mivtza Chinuch 50 years ago, he said that through this campaign, we will establish Tzivos Hashem, Hashem's army, and we will prepare the Tzivos Hashem for the coming of Mashiach. 5 years later, when the Rebbe recruited the children into Tzivos Hashem, he asked parents to speak to their children. Tell them who Hashem is. Tell them what it means to be part of Hashem's army. And tell them what a special schus they have, that they are actually going to bring Golus to an end and bring Mashiach for all of Klal Yisrael. So from that moment, that the child gets a little older, now they can talk. We have to up our game. At that point, and when the words come out of their mouth and into this world, I want you to consider this as a guided missile straight at the enemy. So the Rebbe encourages the children, learn the Pesukim by heart. Say them literally whenever you possibly can. But don't limit yourself to saying them. Remember, the Rebbe chose these Pesukim because they can and be brought down b'havana v'hasaga in a way that a child can actually understand and grasp the message of these Pesukim. And while they're only understanding the Pesukim on a childish level, in kindish ha'esius, the Rebbe says in those words are actually all the 600,000 pirushim that are on each part of the Torah, and they understand it on each level of their neshama, including their yechida. But, as we just heard, the Rebbe doesn't want them just to learn it and understand it. He wants them then to become the mechanchim and to share it with the people at home, in their school, and even on the street. Yes, when the Rebbe launched Mivtza Chinuch, he actually said now has come the time to involve the children in Mivtzayim, and specifically Mivtza Chinuch. The Rebbe transformed the children from being children that are being educated, to actually become the mechanchim. On Sunday, I was by the aisle. I met two children, a 4-year-old and a 9-year-old. And I turned to them and I said, "Are you mechanchim?" And they looked at me like I fell off the moon. So I turned to the 4-year-old and I asked him, "Do you have a younger sibling?" And he lights up and he says, "Yeah, they're 2 years old." And I said, "Can you say Torah and Shema with your baby?" And again he lights up and he says, "Yeah, I can do that." And then I turned to the 9-year-old and I said, "Could you teach your 4-year-old what Torah and Shema mean?" And again he lights up and he says, "I can do that." The Rebbe told us not only the campaign, but even how to reach the children. It's rocket science. Talk to them. And it works. So we have the battle plan, we have the soldiers, we have the ammunition, and now, forward march.